Yeah, absolutely. So, something I've been shouting about on the internet for quite some time is how you're spam until you prove otherwise. And that's true, right? Because we were exposed of, I think the last studies said upwards of 100,000 words per day, and those were done over a decade ago, so I'm sure it's much more now. So you really have to earn people's attention before they can even bother to trust you. And that's what people are going for when they do the whole, my great grandfather founded this business, we've been family owned, we take care of you, we're your neighbors. That's great. But until I care about you, I don't know how to really even buy into that narrative. So I think people are well meaning with it, like you said, but you have to take a step back and get even more empathetic about what your customer's thinking. And then they can start caring about your grandfather, you know?
Welcome to Sharpen the Spear podcast, where we help manufacturing executives command the front and win the floor. I'm Richard Walsh, creator of the Sharpened Impact methodology, and I spent decades helping leaders transform frontline teams, unlock hidden profit, and capture capacity they didn't even know they had. If you want to see where your leadership gaps are costing you and how to fix them, head over to grittolead.com and run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator today. Let's sharpen your edge and get started. And we are back on STS Sharpen the Spear podcast with another incredible guest. I've got Rachel Allen with us today. And Rachel, no one knows Rachel better than Rachel. So, Rachel, I need the backstory. Bring us up to speed so we can get into the conversation.
Ooh, all right, the backstory. Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Allen. I run Bolt from the Blue Copywriting, where I'm a marketing strategist and fractional CMO, which basically means I solve problems and make the trains run on time, which is a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's talk about this first. Let's fractional CMO.
Yeah.
Give us the full definition because I hear different things. I've
Hmm.
dealt with different people. So give us kind of your line. I mean, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like where you
Mhm.
go with this.
Yeah, so the LinkedIn definition, LinkedIn kind of sounding definition of this, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, and then the fractional part is you just need somebody to do that part time. And what that looks like day to day is people bring me in when they have a clear direction with their marketing. They've been doing it for themselves a pretty long time, but they just don't have time to really be in that director position anymore. So they need somebody to come in and say, okay, I've got this. I see the vision. I can execute on this mission. I can work with your team to get everybody going in the right direction. And I can provide advice for problems that maybe you can't figure out how to solve. So maybe you've hit a plateau with your marketing. A lot of people, reach a level of success and then what was working doesn't work anymore. And you just need an outside perspective to say, hey, I've been there, I've seen it, here's how we solve it.
Well, that's great. So it's a temporary gig. Is that how you
Yeah.
position it? You have, it's 3 months, 6 months, whatever you decide with the client, what you think it'll take to get the job done, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Mhm.
So, and I like that. I think I've seen that the rise of the fractional.
Yeah.
Okay, whether it's CFO, CMO, CEO, it's all that, right? So,
Right. Right.
and I think it's a really fantastic position,
Yeah.
because you get to help first way more people.
Right.
Okay, you get to solve more unique problems,
Hmm.
right? So I think for me, when someone says they're a fractional anything, CMO, CFO, whatever that might be, my expectation is, man, you better be bringing the A game
Yeah.
because you don't know what's coming, right?
Hmm.
So this is you got to be. It's like when I coach a business or do things like arrows are coming from all different directions, so you got to
Yeah.
be ready with the right, but you also got to be ready to solve those, right?
Hmm. And I mean, to me, that's the fun part because I've worked with organizations long term before, and there's a skill that comes with having to keep people growing year after year. But there's just something so exciting about people coming to me when they're either in a crisis or they're like, oh, we have this problem that we just can't figure out, or they don't even know what's going on, and they drop me smack in the middle of it, and I kind of look around and I'm like, okay, here we go, and then we can go
Yeah.
forward.
Well, I love that. I'm that kind of guy. Drop me in the middle of the heat, and I'm gonna take care of business.
Yeah, I
So
figured.
I like that a lot. And I think for the right person, someone like you and I, that is an area of thriving for us
Yeah,
because we're
absolutely.
we're, we're inherent problem solvers. Okay, you do it
Yes.
in marketing, I do it in other areas, but I think when you have a gift like that, what you have created or you're in as a fractional CMO now, I think is one way that you can really excel. So do you
Yeah.
find that like this is, and for me, I kind of like to come on in for 2, 3 months and get out, go somewhere else. I kind of like that
Hmm.
because I don't want
Yeah.
to stay in the same place all the time. Especially at the
Yeah.
level, if I can just say this real quick, just at the level you're able to operate at,
Mm.
you'd be bored stiffless, right? Like just
Yeah.
it'd be horrible in 6, 8 months, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
unless it was just constant chaos and you're in a, you know, $2 billion company or something. But
Hmm.
I would imagine that's part of the excitement too.
Oh, absolutely. Like getting to learn something new, getting dropped into a completely new industry a lot of times. I've sort of fallen backwards into a little bit of niching with I work with a lot of tradespeople. I also work with a lot of like attorneys and accountants and sort of small service providers. And I love just learning about all the stuff, especially in businesses that people might traditionally market in sort of, I mean, to say kindly, like a little bit of a boring way. You know, they're like,
Mhm.
oh, we're always going to say we're a family owned small business and we've been in business for how many years and you should trust us because we're your neighbors. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like, do you really care about that or can we get fun with this?
Right. Good. Because I was just about to ask,
Yeah.
like, because there's some really great service trades that can marketing out there. You don't see it often. It is
Hmm.
exactly what you described. They got the kids with them and the
Yeah.
van and the thing
Hmm.
and all the stuff like. And I get the thinking,
Yeah.
okay, but it's a theme. It's effective, but I think there's better ways to present it. Is that kind
Yes.
of what is it? You see the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So, something I've been shouting about on the internet for quite some time is how you're spam until you prove otherwise. And that's true, right? Because we were exposed of, I think the last studies said upwards of 100,000 words per day. And those were done over a decade ago. So I'm sure it's much more now. So you really have to earn people's attention before they can even bother to trust you. And that's what people are going for when they do the whole, my great grandfather founded this business. We've been family owned. We take care of you. We're your neighbors. That's great. But until I care about you, I don't know how to really even buy into that narrative. So I think people are well meaning with it, like you said, but you have to take a step back and get even more empathetic about what your customer's thinking. And then they can start caring about your grandfather, you know?
Yeah, I think you said something very, very astute, and that you have to earn.
Yes.
Okay, you have to earn that. Even though you're the local guy who's been there for 105 years, you
Yep.
have to earn it. And I think in business, and one of my philosophies is you have to earn it every day.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
we earn this every single day. I do a
Hmm.
thing where we install command and we do command infrastructure. I'm like, no, you
Nice.
earn this every day.
Yeah.
You don't get it by attendance.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
just
Yeah.
if you show up, then, praise the
Yeah.
king. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like,
Hmm.
no, you got to earn it every day. And I think from a marketing standpoint, that's very true. And you said earlier, marketing shifts like anything else.
Yeah.
It's changing, it's constantly evolving and shifting. If you're not current, it doesn't mean you have to be the most cutting edge. I'm going to do something all, crazy out there on the edge, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying you really have to understand the mediums, where these things are going, where you can place them, where you fit,
Hmm.
right? Like, how do you make this work? Again, for a
Yeah.
smaller company that doesn't have a, 7-figure budget,
Yeah,
right? Like,
totally.
what are you going to do? You know?
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, if marketing's not your full-time job, then of course it's easy to fall back on the like, okay, well, our competitors do this, so let's do that, but 5% more, you know? And all that does is just put you in an arms race with whoever has the bigger marketing spend. So it's just a road to nowhere. So that's what I always tell people. Like, you don't need to be louder than everybody else. You just need to be heard by the right people.
I think what's important about this, Rachel, is, and I see this often, and I get the temptation, okay? You want to put your daughter in charge of marketing because she has a phone and does social media. Okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you might want to rethink that.
Yeah.
Okay. I maybe you get Rachel, and I don't know, maybe your daughter interns think I watches at the
Right.
on the you know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
when I'm air quoting intern, meaning like watch what she does and like
Hmm.
learn some things, like because I've seen some bigger companies too do the same thing
Oh yeah.
and they're just not well.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it
you're doing $70 million a year, and you've got this person that doesn't even know,
exactly.
barely has a degree, but there you go. So I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, we got to be careful on, the nepotism. I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Well, I like your approach to it though, because I have done that with several companies where they're like, "Hey, we have somebody that we think could be pretty good at this, but they're not there yet. Would you come in and can they shadow you and would you be willing to train them?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely," because I want more people to be able to operate independently. Like, I don't want to come in and have anybody depending on me long term. I'm a cat person for a reason. Like, I need that like distance, you know?
Right.
But I would love to have more people be able to do this on their own. So there's nothing inherently wrong with having Jake the intern do your social media as long as he's learning from somebody who knows how.
Right. That's it. And it's good I'm glad you have that philosophy,
Hmm.
right? Because I think I even do it with owners like, look, we're here to work yourself out of a job.
Yep.
Like we're here to build systems and processes, and we're going to delegate, and we're going to get the best people we can who definitely are better than we are,
Hmm.
because we are the number one stumbling block. We are the
Yep.
biggest problem in our businesses, whether we think so or not. And we continue to be, even though we get better all the time. Okay. So
Hmm.
we need to understand like how do we redirect that so we can grow faster and at a higher quality level. Right. And I think,
Yeah.
again, bringing fractional CMO in to get the marketing squared away, and the team who's going to then, I'm going to air quote, maintain it,
Right.
they need to have a clue.
Right, exactly. So what I love about what you just said there, I have a friend who talks about the difference between bossing, managing, and leading. And I think what you're pointing out is like leadership, which is so much different than bossing, which is just like, hey, do this thing because I said so. Or even managing, which is like, okay, we have a team, let me make sure everybody's working together. Like true leadership is really having the humility to be like, you know what, I can't do that, but you're great at that. How about we put you two together?
Yeah. I mean, great leaders make more leaders, period.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
They have to always be doing that. And that should be, the philosophy and it's kind of, well, everyone isn't going to do that. But just for me, that works out really well
Yeah.
because you get great people. And I always tell people, Rachel, I said, listen, I got a little saying. It's called everybody leaves.
Mm.
Okay. So
Hmm.
I may have 25 people working for me. They're all going to leave.
Yeah, yeah.
Could be tomorrow, could be 20 years from now. I don't know. But
Hmm.
like somewhere in between those two, they're
Yeah.
all leaving. I
Yeah.
guarantee you they're going to go. And my goal is that they go for a good reason
Hmm.
because they've hit the ceiling here and now
Yeah.
they want to go do more and be more. Oh man, let's go.
Yeah,
I will
totally.
train you up. I'll make you awesome, but then I want you to go. Okay,
Yeah,
when you go,
exactly.
when you hit the ceiling here, I want you to go, and
Yeah.
then kill it. Go
And
out
go
there and be
make more
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's kind of my philosophy and the stuff. And again, when they can come under someone like you, if I bring someone in again to kind of really square away my marketing, and they can again intern and watch this again, we're making them better when you
Yeah.
exit because here's the reality, and I'm guessing on this.
Hmm.
You come in for 3 months, you squared away, get this grace. So poof, Rachel's gone.
Yep.
The little Jake here, he's taking over. He's doing his thing. Well, next year I'm gonna give Rachel a call. Hey Rachel, let's do another
Right.
3 month gig. Come
Hmm.
back in. Let's check this out. I think we're doing okay, but give us a
Yeah.
run through. I'll put you on. Maybe we'll create some new stuff. Let's stay
Hmm.
right. That's super
Yep.
cool, right?
Oh, and it's so much fun. Like I love that. So the way people tend to work with me is I'll do like usually like a 6 to 18 month gig up front because they bring me in when they've got a big
Mhm,
issue happening
mhm.
or they want launch support or something. They're forming a new business. And then after that, they're like, okay, we're good. You know, we can fly on our own. And I'm like, that's wonderful. I'm going to check in 6 months just to see because you think you've got it. And it's just like anything else when we're learning something new. You hit a new level and you're like, no, can you, come back in for an hour? Absolutely, I can. And then, like you said, next year can we do 6 weeks, something like that? And I love that because like job stability for me, but I love seeing these people succeed and grow over time.
Yeah, and having that attitude is it is good business on your part.
Mm-hmm.
It's smart as you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You have a business. You're providing service. Okay, like we all want lifetime profitable value.
Yeah.
We all want to be used again by our clients. We all want them to buy our next product or our next service or whatever that is. The
Mm-hmm.
whole goal has to be that it's a relationship.
Yes.
Business is a relationship. And if you can
Yeah.
create that relationship, like you're not there to get a handout every day, but
Yeah.
man, if every year you come back in for 3 to 6 weeks, like you said, or whatever that is, or 3 months that's a great
Mm-hmm.
thing. Or every other year, it doesn't matter because it's like
Right.
any other pipeline. Once it's full, pretty
Mm-hmm.
soon Rachel just can't, you know, there's got to be a rotation. Okay. She's
Yeah.
stacking things up. That's good.
Exactly. I mean, my longest client, I think we've worked together for 16 years now. And
Wow.
yeah, on and off throughout the time. And that
Yep.
like sometimes that's a much bigger engagement, sometimes it's much smaller. But it's just like anything else. Like you said, it's a relationship. And I would much rather go to, Richard, my friend who does the podcast for something than like, oh, let me just Google a random podcaster?
Right. Right. So let's use the 16-year example.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a lot of, and it's in and out. I get it. It's not full time and it's,
Yeah.
here it could be every other year, whatever. But like, what have you seen over that span
Mm,
of the last 16 years? You're
yeah.
talking 20, whatever, 14, 15, whatever it
Yeah.
is, 2015. There's a lot that's evolved. Okay,
Yes.
16 years in marketing these days since the internet, if you will.
Hmm.
I can go post pre-internet, but
Yeah.
that's a lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, there's a
What
reason I call myself a dinosaur, like an internet
well,
dinosaur.
but that's okay. It's okay. But what kind of things, just kind of high level, like
Hmm.
did you see going through this whole 16-year period with a company? Because most people never get to 16 years in a company.
Yeah.
So I can get past five, over 10. But so kind of let's hit a few points on that, if you would, please.
Yeah. So, what I saw in their evolution of the company was I started working with this woman. She founded a salon in the UK, and she was a great massage therapist and wanted to run her own place. And I said, that's awesome. What do you care? Like, why? Like, why do you like doing this? Why do you care about massage? Why do you care about beauty? And she said, like, went back and forth. She said, I truly believe that every single person is beautiful, and I want them to feel that. And I was like, well, that's lovely. And that's completely different than like, oh, come here and get the best sports massage of your life, right? So she had such a strong differentiating factor to begin with. And I've seen her iterate on that throughout the years. So they became like the UK's only carbon neutral salon because she believes that beauty of the planet matters just as much as beauty of people. But she had this through line that carried her through all the different tactical changes of like, first we were much more social media, like to print social media focused. And then video became the thing. And she's, very photogenic. So I was like, oh, get it, do a bunch of videos. You love this. Now, she's focusing more on physical products, things she can mail people, little kits for beauty stuff. And that's a trend I'm seeing in marketing overall is like we're so tired of emails and websites. We want stuff we can touch with our hands.
I love that you say that because this has been my thing lately. As I talk to people, my thing is the pendulum has swung too far on the automation side.
Yes.
And people they want relationship, they want product, they want to talk, they want to see you,
Yeah.
so we've changed all that. I and I joke, and I'm gonna cast a small dispersion, but
Hmm.
I'm just saying your cold email marketing, your 5,000 emails to people through instantly or whoever. I'm like, the only one making money in that is the service
Hmm.
provider.
Yep.
We're
Absolutely.
I go, there's no one making money because I'm like, I don't open any, they don't open any. I go, you could get in your car and drive to 10 places and make more money by talking
Absolutely.
to people. I said,
Absolutely.
in less time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It would cost you so much less. You would make so much more money. You'd probably make some friends, which is also cool.
Yeah,
And the ripple effect of that goes
that's it.
because it's
Yeah.
like, wait, you actually took the time to like come see me at my place of business? Like, that's amazing. What kind of effort would you bring to the work you do with me?
Yeah. There is one caveat I'll give you though.
Mm.
These days, there's no one at the front desk anymore, and they've locked the
Oh,
door. So,
yeah, no,
so
you don't want to surprise them.
you got to ring the doorbell and stand there looking in the doorbell camera and like, no
Yeah.
one's coming, no one's coming. Okay,
Yeah.
walking in. So there's no. So I would start sneaking around to the big roll up doors, and I go in that way and
Hmm.
talk to people on the floor. But yeah, it's hard to get in the front door. I had that experience this morning. Matter of fact, I'm like, it was my second time there. The person came out the first time, but this time
Yeah.
she just said, "Well, he'll contact you." I'm like,
Oh,
"Okay, well, you have a great day." What am I going to
yeah.
argue? Okay, I'm
Yeah,
going to
you're not like
find his
banging the doors,
name
but yeah.
and his email, and I'm going to get to him. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, but it really does make a difference, and I think from a marketing standpoint, and I mean advertising too, same thing. There has to be that
Yeah.
feel now, right? You have to create these ads, for lack of a
Hmm.
better term, right?
Hmm.
That's going to connect in that way. Like that's a little challenging.
Yeah. I mean, and So I'm gonna like nerd out about marketing history really briefly because what that is a swing from what's called objective correlative marketing, which is like if you smoke the Camel cigarettes, you're gonna look cool like Joe Camel. If you drive the Cadillac, you're gonna be sexy or whatever. To relationship and values-based marketing, and all the studies are showing that people really want to work with and buy from people that share their values. And so that's difficult to articulate for a lot of people who are used to the like, well, I have to say that my values are whatever, integrity, transparency, and honesty, whatever the ones people choose. And to really get down to the things you actually care about and then share that in the world, that can feel incredibly vulnerable.
Mhm.
But it's really worth it to take that time to say, like, no, like what do you genuinely care about? What do you wake up at 4 in the morning caring about? And there's a resonance to that that just draws people in.
I think it goes back to that old everyone they want to be everything to everybody,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
things to everybody. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
can't. It never works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, not even McDonald's. I don't eat at McDonald's. Haven't eaten there for 30
Yeah.
years. Okay. I'm
No.
never going to eat there again. But like, I'm just saying though, once you, like you said, if you get down to a vulnerability and authenticity, if you will, and you get
Mm,
down there and you direct that, again, you're getting a higher return on quality clients.
yes.
It might not be
Absolutely.
150 where 90 of them are getting thrown right in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because they're not, I
Yeah.
thought you were
You
just
didn't want
this.
them to be that
They
way.
don't know
Hmm.
what they're even calling. They
Yes.
think they do, but when they get to, oh no, that's not what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
Because you haven't done a good enough job of explaining, demonstrating, and connecting with your potential clientele. So you don't
Mm,
have that, so that those 90 people are not a waste of your time or their
yeah.
time, right?
Right.
So do it for them.
Yeah.
Save them the time.
Exactly. And I mean, people will make wild assumptions about who you are and what you do if you are not so explicit about it. Like the number of people who think that I'm an intellectual property attorney because like copywriter sounds like copyright. Copywriting
Gotcha.
is one
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I can't help you with that, but like here's somebody that you should talk to.
Right. Do I just put a T on by everything? What do I got to
Yeah,
do?
exactly. But
Okay.
yeah, that's fine. It makes it work.
Yes. Yes. No, go away.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, no, you're exactly right. Again, yeah, it's confusion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think a lot of companies when they're, and they could have professional marketers do this, they
Mhm.
create confusion. They're not
Yes.
clear on what they do, or
Hmm.
they're just, yeah, you and everybody else.
Yeah.
That's the problem. There's no
Yeah.
differentiation that makes a difference. That's kind of
Hmm.
a funny saying. I got to write
I
that
like
down.
that different. I'm gonna
Yes.
like take that for a some sales copy. Differentiation that makes a difference. Thank you. That's
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
It
Or differentiation that doesn't make a difference.
yeah.
Okay, that's more on target, I think. For a lot
Well,
of people, because they don't. They
yeah.
think they are, but they're not. That's my point.
Exactly. I mean, it makes so there's this essay it makes me think of called 10 Lessons from a Maker, and it's by a guy named David Hyatt, and he owned a jeans company. And lesson 5 or something was nobody goes to sleep at night and dreams of high quality. And that's, of course, everybody, the jeans people are like, oh, the highest quality denim. And I'm like, no, I don't care about the high quality denim. I care about whether it makes my butt look good. Like,
Yeah,
so if you can speak to that, the thing that people really care about, that's what differentiates you.
right. Yeah, can expose half my legs with holes and look cool.
Exactly.
It's like,
Will
huh?
I look like a rock star? That's what
Yes,
matters to me.
my daughters come out and I just like that's a lot of shredded pants.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just like you get in a bear fight. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like you won, but but it's all good. But yeah, so it's yeah, that's yeah. You never take fashion advice from me. Just putting that out there. I'm not. I'm
I
no slave
mean,
to fashion, so I
the
could never market for anything. So
the jeans with holes look chilly to me, so I'm with you there.
I get it. It works in some aspects, but it doesn't matter. Whoever's
Yeah.
selling them is doing a good job
Yeah.
because people are buying them. So that's
Yeah.
all I can say. So I'm like, I like people. There's a market for everything.
That
Okay.
is so true.
I I give people the landscaping analogy. I go, look, you got Chuck in a truck with a push mower
Mm-hmm.
and a broom, and he'll
Mm-hmm.
come cut your grass for $15 a week.
Yep.
And then you got the other guy who's got the custom trailer, all decals, wrapped, the trucks, everything else. The guys roll out on riders and they're done in 20 minutes, but they're mow, blow, cut, trim, do the whole thing, and they're out.
Yeah.
They're $85 a week. Okay. And there's people who will hire one and not hire the other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a market for everything. You just got to find it,
Mhm.
and there's nothing wrong with it. Just figure it out which one it is.
Exactly. And be honest with yourself about which one you are, which can be the really humbling thing of like, oh, if I'm just chucking the truck, but like I've, rattle canned my own truck and that's a decal, isn't it? No, it's not.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Let's talk about that for a minute because there's a saying I love. I said, "You don't get what you want; you get who you are."
Ooh.
Okay,
Yep.
and it's true in every facet of life.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
marketing's no exception.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are bringing in Rachel as a fractional CMO, and like
Mm-hmm.
they start telling you these things, and you've already had the conversation, you gotten to know them, looking going, but that's not who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't mean you're digging into their complete personality. I mean the way you operate. I've been here, I've
Mm-hmm.
seen you, and the way you talk, and this like that's not. Why do you want to convey that? Do you have to have those discussions? Like there's not alignment there. You have to
Yes.
be aligned with your brand. If you whatever your
Mm-hmm.
brand is, your service, you have to be aligned with that
Yeah.
to represent it. So there's guys who can get away with the dirty jeans and t-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
do their thing and sell, and people love them
Yep.
because that's what they expect to show up at their house for this particular job. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, doing the septic system. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't want a guy in a suit.
Yeah. No, I would not trust that at all.
So just saying that it's really important to identify who you are in the business,
Mm-hmm.
and especially if you're going to be a front person in the business.
Yeah. Yeah,
So maybe
absolutely.
let's talk about that real quick because I think most people have seen it kind of go all different directions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the owner, CEO, founder, whatever wants to get out in front,
Mm-hmm.
some do it really well,
Yeah.
some do it really poorly, and
Mm-hmm.
some are smart enough to know they only need to be the face of the company once in a while.
Yes.
And they're good at
Absolutely.
it. They pop in and do this thing, but then the team, everything else is all in place. So they're not
Mm.
the company is not dependent on them, and it's not
Yes.
personality dependent because that's really a bad place to put your company in.
Yeah, that is so dangerous because then, I mean, you're not allowed to have any bad days, and it's terrible for you. You make a misstep and everything falls apart. Or, I mean, where I get frustrated with marketers, especially working in the trades, because they'll come in and try to sell trades businesses like it's, a widget or like it's a finance business or something. And I'm like, that doesn't, no one it would say that. Nobody talks like that. Like, is that how you talk? Absolutely not. Then it shouldn't be in your marketing. And that doesn't mean that you can't like modulate a little bit for what your customer expects. But if someone is trying to tell you that you need to sound like someone you are not, then you need to fire them.
I did that with a PR person
Oh, nice.
because I did sculptures and I did all water features and all this stuff. So I'm an artist, whatever. And then
Yeah.
she's telling me like, well, you just have to fix your speech, like you're too many D's and does and stuff like that. I'm a Chicago guy. It's how we
Yeah.
talk. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I go, oh, well, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to work with you.
hmm
Okay. So
hmm
please go.
Yeah,
Just
it's like that
send her
is
away.
the
Like I don't need that. I mean, and I wasn't offended.
yeah.
Like so I'm like, why do I have to? I'm the one who built it. No one even can build what I built.
hmm
So you know what that
Yep.
means? I can speak the way I want to speak.
Exactly.
I'm not in
Exactly.
competition with anyone. I'm not
Yeah.
building little wood blocks. Okay, like,
Yeah.
and I got to be the most articulate wood block builder in the on the street. Like I don't need that. Okay, I'm this guy,
Mhm.
and that's okay. So, and that has served me very well, Rachel. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that is exactly what I recommend everyone to do. And people, I think sometimes take that to mean like, oh, I have to like, cut my chest open and be open to everyone with my innermost vulnerabilities. And that's not true either. You're not going around like shoving your private life down clients' throats. You're just being honest about who you are in the context of your relationship with them.
Yeah, what I found worked for me really well was, um, I think the words respect. I just
Yeah.
look at them in the eye and I speak to them. We're the same level.
Mm-hmm.
You get to write bigger checks than I do. That's okay.
Yeah.
Keep going to me. It's totally okay. So I'll go with that. But here, I'm here to build you this or do this. And like, and you're going to love it. I'm going to love it. We're going to be friends when we get done and everyone's going to be
Yeah.
happy,
Yeah.
because we're just this. You're not, I don't put you up here and you don't put me down there and everything is good. And
Yeah.
people, at least I work with a lot of high level clients. I mean, that works so well.
So much better than people think it will. Because like people go into it with these weird power dynamics in mind. And I've always been that way too, where I'm like, I respect you as long, as you respect me, we're equals. I just can't look up to somebody and be like, you're so much better than me because I don't know, we're just people. We all, put our pants on the
Right.
same leg.
Right. I would tell people I had a multi-billionaire client,
Mm,
greatest guy ever. He'd just roll up to my little story, roll up and say, "Man, get in the car, take me show you some of your jobs." Him and his wife.
yeah.
This guy, like, who am I? I'm some guy
Yeah.
just, and he'll call me up randomly, and stuff like that. I'm like, you're like, he owns professional sports teams and manufacturing plants. And I'm like, and you're calling me?
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like
And
I'm
it's
like, so it's all good. I like it because we're
yeah.
just regular people.
And I find because I've worked with a lot of people in like levels of that as well. Because with my work with attorneys and stuff, I've been doing I would negotiate with like venture capitalists, all these very fancy people. And they expect you to come into the room with a little bit of an attitude because like, oh, we're so fancy. And I'm just like, hey, do you want some coffee? What's up? Let's have a chat. And it just takes all the bullshit away,
Yeah.
like you just can talk person to person.
Yeah. It's you have to be able to be disarming.
Yes.
It's a skill you can acquire
Yeah.
if you don't feel you can. It's just learn little things like that. It's
Hmm.
it's the room. I mean, if you have that kind of control, if they're coming to see you, you're in charge.
Right.
Got news
Exactly.
for you. So, it doesn't mean you're elevated. It's just like I can set this place up to win.
Hmm.
Why do you think guys take people on the golf course?
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
exactly.
I mean,
Hmm.
it's environmental, right? It's
And
just
it,
like where you at.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
I was just gonna say it's a thing that I think people have to learn as they mature in business too, which is if you go into it thinking like, oh man, I gotta close this sale, like I gotta conquer this person, I gotta make them do something. That's horrible for everyone. But if you can go in and say like, hey, I'm here to make a friend, I'm here to get to know somebody, I'm here to be a good host or hostess to somebody, that's a completely different vibe and it works out so much better.
Yeah, I've always found that too, Rachel. It's just, and then the business conversation comes up naturally.
Exactly.
I don't start with let's get down to business.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I'm just like, and I'm not your small talk guy either.
Hmm.
I don't do that nonsense.
Yeah, no.
I'll see something if I'm in someone
Lovely.
else, I'll see something I'll like. Well, I guess maybe it helps because I podcast a lot. Like I
Yeah.
can talk about things
Yeah.
at random and with no notice. But I can just
Hmm.
like you just get going on something and here's my little secret, man. Everybody wants to talk about themselves.
Yes.
Okay, so let them.
Yep. They want to talk about themselves, they want to talk about their pets, and they
Hmm.
want to talk about whatever they're like everybody has this like weird thing that they're super into, but nobody around them wants to talk about. So if you can be like, okay, what's like tell me, just give me the crazy, then they will be so into it.
Right. Yeah, and it's just it's part of sales.
Yeah.
That's what it is when you're that comfortable and you do that, it makes a difference.
Hmm.
It really does. And I think when people, again, back to authenticity too, when people are at that level and they understand who they are, okay, and they're coming in this and they're just doing the thing.
Yeah.
So who was I with? I think it was an investor or something. And we're just having this conversation and walking through anything else. So let's talk about next steps.
Yeah.
Like they're the investor. I
Yeah.
was like, well, because we had such a great conversation. Like, well, let's talk about next steps. Looks like we're
Yeah.
pretty aligned here. Let's go. What do you want to do? When do you want to do the next call? Everything else. And I'm like, okay. And then we got that booked and off we went. All right, I'll
Right.
call you then.
Right.
Just that simple. So it's sometimes I think we overthink it,
Yeah.
which I can do on a lot of different levels.
Yeah.
But I think when you understand what your real outcomes are,
Hmm.
like you said, you need to change what the real outcome is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm not here to close the deal. I got to
Yeah.
close this deal. And you're like, no, I'm gonna serve this person. I'm gonna go in,
Yes.
we're gonna talk, I'm gonna get to know them a little bit, we're gonna go through the thing. I'm gonna be able to present because then there's no tension on my end either. I
Right.
just roll with
Exactly.
it. And
Yeah.
then the outcome's the outcome,
Hmm.
unless
Yeah.
you do something really stupid. Okay.
But even then you get to learn.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
but you're going to make some advancement. You're going to have some advancement there with that. And it may not be that day, but the conversation will continue. That's what's key.
yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, or you learn that it's a terrible conversation and you don't want to be in, and you're like, oh man, I'm glad I dodged that bullet.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm never working for that guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you get those too. We all get those. We all get the
Mhm.
undesirable clients. One that we want to. Well, I always just outprice myself. That was my secret.
Yeah,
I'm going to
I
give
would
them a
do that
price.
too.
There's no way they'll ever hire. That way, I don't have to
Exactly.
say no.
Exactly. It,
But then there's other people like, no, I'm just going to say no
Mhm.
because I'm
I,
not even. He'll still take the price.
yeah,
He's that
I've done
person.
both. I've done both. I'm like, okay, I think about how much money would it take for me to still feel okay if this just went completely like out the window terrible and like I had to get a lawyer involved kind of terrible, or do I actually want that headache and can I just refer them out to somebody else?
Well, Rachel, give me your thoughts on this because I tell people we'll talk about this on time to time here on the podcast and with other people I'm dealing with. But there's a time when there is no amount of money.
Yes,
And,
correct.
or over time you've dealt with so many people, like I'll give people an example. I've sent deposit checks and contracts back to them
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they've altered the contract, done this, and changed the number, and they send me,
Hmm.
and I just put it all in another envelope, seal it up, send it back, and wait
Yeah.
for the phone call.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Listen, if you're changing the contract
Right.
without my knowledge and you're sending me, this project's only going to get worse.
Exactly.
If this is how we're starting, there's no way. This is a complicated. I'm out. And I think
Yeah.
when I help business owners and they get that first time they can do that,
Yeah.
oh, it's amazing to watch. I go, was that not liberating? When you can
So
say
much
no,
power.
and when you learn that saying no is just making room for more yeses to the
Hmm.
right clients, because you'll be hating yourself on the first half day you're working for that person.
Yep.
Knew this was gonna you'll be saying it the whole time, whether it's a 2 day thing or a 2 month or whatever it is. We've all been there. That I mean,
Hmm.
I just try to really help people avoid that. Know
Yeah.
those signals. I had that with a client the other day. We had that conversation. Like, when do we say no?
Mm.
He's in construction, high end construction, real custom. It's like, when do we pull the plug on the people?
Yeah.
Just before estimation, before this, so we
Mhm.
really dialed in like, when's the right time in these situations to say no? We
Yeah.
can't help you because those are 12-month, 18-month engagements, $3 million home form. I mean,
Mhm.
that's a long time to be miserable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love how you say that. That is exactly correct.
Right. So
Yeah.
we want to know when to say no. We want to know why we need to say no. Okay.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always talking about yes and make the sale and everything else. But there's times you
Right.
have to really understand again, we're not for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
there's certain coffee places I'll never drink at because their
Yep.
coffee's terrible. Okay. They're
Hmm.
not for me, but everybody else
Hmm.
lines up.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But,
And
you know,
I mean, I think being when you put that much thought into it with the no, sometimes if you do it right, they'll actually thank you for saying no
mhm.
and for ending the contract. Because I've had clients do that where they'll buy something, then they've kind of talked themselves into working with me, but maybe they're not ready, or maybe it was more of a financial stretch than they actually wanted to swing. And then they'll start doing the little like sabotage behaviors, you know? And so that's why I'll like immediately send the deposit back. I'll say, thank you so much. I really appreciate your trust in me. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to return this, blah, blah, blah. And they say, thank you so much for seeing that. Thank you so much for respecting me enough to do this.
Yeah, it's important. I think, the longer you're in business, I mean, you're going to come across these times.
Yeah.
We all got a story or
Yeah.
three.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got a few. So, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's really how you deal with it. Now, if you
Absolutely.
get into these situations and you got a 4 month contract and you're at month two, well, unless it's unbelievably abusive,
Yeah.
you got to ride it out.
Right.
You
Right.
got to honor your obligation. You signed a contract. You said yes. You're doing this. Like, unless they're legitimately breaking things in the contract, that's a different
Yeah.
story. But if they're just a not your favorite person, I don't know how else
Right.
to say it. Like, you ride it out and just be done. And
Yeah.
their lifetime profitable value ends at 4 months.
Yep. Exactly.
They have no ability to me after 4 months. When I'm done, I'm out. You'll never,
Yeah.
all you'll see is my tail lights. That's all it's going
Right,
to
right.
be. So yeah, I totally get it. That's, but again, it's one of those things. So let's kind of flip back here to, I want to get back to marketing because
Yeah.
I just pulled us down a little rabbit hole there on the sales stuff. So,
It's all the same thing.
so,
Yeah.
but I really like the aspect from a fractional CMO when you come in
Mm,
because, and you mentioned this earlier, you might be there 6 months, a year, 18 months because you're just jumped into this mess. So let's
yeah.
describe a little bit what you mean by the mess.
Mm,
Okay, so we're probably a little higher level in the clients,
yeah.
whatever, whether it's revenue numbers or whatever. But this talk
Hmm.
about these big marketing messes because they got there for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, and now
Yeah.
you're there to fix it all. So it sounds like they took quite a while to realize they were kind of on the wrong path. So break that
Yes.
down for us.
So a lot of times it happens very slowly and then overnight. So it's like, oh, things are fine. They're just crumbling a little bit. They're just a little bit bad. Oh, wow, they're really bad. So people will bring me in when what was working before, like the guaranteed thing to work is just absolutely not working. And like at first it's like, oh, it was just an off month. Oh, it's just, recession fears. Oh, it's whatever. And then like, oh, wait, something is actually like really not working here. We like our pipeline is dry. We're on like a 6 week lead time, like we're payroll is at risk. And so then they bring me in and they're like, hey, we need to fix this really fast. We need to get this going again. We need to bring some revenue in. How do we fix the bleeding and then make sure it doesn't happen again? And so that's what I do. I look at the quickest way to stop whatever the dumb thing is that's happening. I'm like, we're not going to do that anymore. We may throw out everything you've been doing if it's just a waste of money. And we're going to triage and work on the main problem and get you some cash in fast, get your pipeline back up where you need it to be. And then we're going to unpack, okay, how did we get here and how do we make that never happen again?
Yeah, that's the challenge. Now, let me ask you this because I've
Mm.
seen this a lot in marketing. Now, they bring you in, they got a
Hmm.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not selling, something's not moving, whatever. So I'm curious when you're like, well, I don't know if I'm your solution.
Mm,
So, and
hmm.
I heard one marketer say this, and I really appreciate her a lot for her integrity. She
Yeah.
said, if you're coming to me with your last, whatever it is, $100,000, last $1,000,
Hmm.
whatever it is, and you think I'm going to save your business,
Hmm.
I'm going to tell you no.
Yeah.
You need to go knock on doors.
Yes.
She goes, you need to go. And I was like, okay, that woman's real.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's not going to take your money and spend it, and you're going to get no
Love it.
results because
Yeah.
marketing is you might be able to define it better than me because it's what you do, but it's a complicated process. It is,
Mm,
and I always got frustrated with this too. It's like it's a long game.
mm,
It's a marathon, not a sprint. All those things they make my
hmm.
skin crawl, and people,
Yeah.
you need to get a better definition. Okay,
Yeah.
because those things just
And
tell me you're going to just milk me for,
yeah,
for 9
totally.
months.
Like I think a much better way to say it is that it's an indirect process. So people have been sold this idea of like, oh, create your marketing funnel and you put X number of people in and you'll get X percentage out. And I'm like, okay, have you ever met a human? Come on, we don't make decisions like that.
Mm.
So it's about relationships. And so that's where the ROI does become indirect. And you're like, okay, well, what's the ROI on knocking on 10 doors? I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll have these relationships down the road. So I'm the exact same way. When someone comes to me and they're like, hey, can you do a Facebook ad campaign to get our payroll? And I'm like, absolutely not. You need to get a loan or speak with a financial advisor.
Or a bankruptcy attorney, one or the other. I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah, I've been there. But you're exactly right. And I'm glad you put it that way. So this is what people need to understand about marketing. It's not a short-term savior. Okay.
Yeah.
When done right, it will be a continuous flow.
Yes.
That's what your goal is. It's ongoing. It's a commitment for the life of your business.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you have to understand. There's no, let's do this for 4 months. We'll stop for 3, then we'll start again because then you're never going to make it right.
I've worked with
Right?
so many clients like that. And I'm like, this is why it doesn't work. You stop right before it starts working, and then
Mhm.
it works for like 1 month and then it collapses.
Yeah. And it's so frustrating. I mean, I
Yeah.
totally get it because you know, back in the day, like I'm talking a little pre-internet here, but like I never, no success with marketing. And
Mm.
I wasn't really doing it. Like someone they a print ad or I'm
Yeah.
in magazine articles. I'm in all this kind of stuff, right? But those don't sell anything. Those sell
Yeah.
no. They're authority builders only. But I'm like trying to like, and I'm so as I tell people, I'm so odd.
Mm.
Like I can't speak to normal people. Okay, I don't know how to do that. I just don't know how to do that. So I can't,
Yeah.
I can't sell to the masses. I can't do any of that. So I like have to bring in someone, like to do this. And back then it was very difficult.
Yeah.
I can't go look at 19 websites and decide who I think I like the most. Oh, look, Rachel, I think I'll talk to her. I
Yeah.
couldn't do that. You're like, who do you know?
Right. Right.
You could stand on a street corner to be about as effective, right? Like, I don't know where to go. Like, I got a printer. A printer will make a nice flyer for me.
Right.
Okay, great. I spent $2,500 on flyers, and who do I give them to? Now what do? Oh, I got to mail them.
Yeah.
I got to do this. So there was this whole thing of like it was so costly
Yeah.
for like zero return.
Yeah.
I mean, you had no way to track it, And
Mhm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna rant for a second. Like the
Sure.
billboard guys would come
Oh
into my
yeah.
office, and it was
Hmm.
this. We had 47,000 people, and we got this many eyes look at it every day. I go, like, how do you know eyes look at? I'm just like you sound like a clown. Okay,
Right.
I don't
Right.
have to look up. You tell me how many eyes look at your billboard. I go, where do you get? And we're talking 90s. Okay, the
Yeah.
90s. Okay, I'm like, how can I believe you?
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Hmm.
So it was just so I'd never commit to it.
Yeah.
I mean, until I figured out a way, like I know how to actually track it now, but it's by what you put on the billboard.
Right.
I'd put a special code at 3rd Street and 75th. Okay.
Hmm.
Like I'll put a code on there when they use that code when they call me. I know, oh, I came from the billboard because it's the only code that's on there. That's the only thing I can figure out. How do I
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I have to go through that trouble? I don't understand this marketing thing. So people saw my work. I had to,
Yeah.
build gardens. People see it. I go, that's it.
Yeah.
They see it. I'm in.
Yeah.
I
Totally.
walk in their home. I open up a giant 3-inch binder with as a portfolio, and they go, "Oh," I go, "Well, let's talk about yours."
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're in. So that was my marketing. Nothing very sophisticated,
Hey, it works though. I mean, if it
right?
works, it works.
Exactly. But it's just today, like that's why I asked about the 16-year, and you get the span.
Mm.
We go from again internet conception, and it's the Wild West. It's the
Yeah.
crazy. Everyone's got a Lambo, and the whole thing. It
Yeah.
was just it was silly. This is everybody
Yeah.
promising the world, right? Get rich tomorrow, and the whole thing. But then it gets a little more sophisticated, a little more of this. And it's no like and trust. People understand
Yeah.
that, and then you're kind of going through. Now there's authenticity, and now there's this frustrating thing that people do, and they've got their phone, and this is a commercial and they don't have quality sound. You hear the echo like they're, like it's real, right? They're just
Hmm.
doing this in their house. They're just talking to you about this thing. I'm like,
Hmm.
it's the biggest, fakest thing ever. Give
Yeah.
me quality sound. Again, I'm odd.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear an echo like you're in your garage. Okay.
But yeah, it's just not that hard. Like to me, it's a sign of respect, right? Like if people can't be bothered to put a little bit of craftsmanship into their marketing, how can I possibly trust the craftsmanship of their work?
This is like planned marketing. They
Mm.
they plan to do it that way to make it look off the cuff, impromptu. I'm like, it's not working, man. You're
Yeah,
still
no.
reading the Chat GPT layout. You're just
Yeah.
animating it a little bit. I can tell.
It's
Okay.
like the dudes, like the guys who they'll take pictures of themselves smoking a cigar, but they clearly hate cigars, but they're like, no, I'm like manly and cool. And I'm like, bro, you have not puffed on that thing at all. Like, come on.
Right. Right. I want to see ash that long, 2 inches long,
Exactly.
hanging off. They're just getting ready to drop that baby. Okay. 48 ring gauge. You give me something
Yeah.
really got some Swisher sweet or something. What are you doing? Man. Yeah. But no, you're
Yeah.
right. But you see, and I don't know. I'm a little what would you call it? Hypersensitive
Mm.
to this kind of stuff because obviously I'm business and I work in business
Yeah.
and I see stuff and when you get an authenticity is the only word I have right now.
Mm.
But
Mm.
like it's like you can tell it whether it's choreographed or whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
it's legit. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, I've seen commercials like I think it's a laundry commercial, and like you can tell that it's all lip synced. It's
Yeah.
not them, and it's this perfect family. They're smiling and they're on that, and I'm like, this is it, they can't. This is like Tide. This is
Yeah.
like Tide doing this. I'm like, this is creepy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
when
it's
it's
super
like that,
off-putting.
that's not the only, like, this is like creepy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
does your bottle of soap listen into when it's in your house? I'm starting to wonder like what's going on here. So yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just my I'm fascinated by marketing. Okay.
Yeah.
Terrible at it. Okay.
I
Don't
mean,
ever want to do
clearly
it.
not, based on what I've
But
heard.
no, but
Au
but
contraire.
but I just, I have a great appreciation for those who understand it at a
Mm,
level like you do. And that's
yeah.
why you're a fractional CMO, right? You can come in and really diagnose. I think the diagnostic aspect I think is really important. So let's
Mm,
talk about that a little bit because that's I would imagine that's like first step when you get boots on the ground,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. So the first thing I say is tell me everything. And then they think that they've told me everything. And I'm like, okay, but what were you too embarrassed to tell me just now? Like, what was the thing that you're like, oh, I can't really, oh, Like until I see that like oh, cringe, I know that we haven't really gotten to it. And before I come in, I do a whole bunch of like research. I read all their stuff, and that's how I can normally say, like, okay, but what's the embarrassing thing that's going on? Then they'll tell me, and I'll say, okay, well, what if we just didn't do that? And then that's where you get the pearl clutching of like, but we have to do, but if we don't, and I'm like, okay, what are they gonna, is the internet gonna burn your house down? What's gonna happen if we don't do that? And I start by trying to break frames of saying, like, okay, we've gotten here because somehow we've made decisions about the rules for this and that's not working. So, how do we break out of that?
Yeah, that's great. I think people they have all the preconceived ideas of what
Yeah.
things should be, and they need to. So let me ask you this: is it a challenge that I mean, if they've hired you and you're doing it, there's a level of trust,
Mm,
possibly.
yeah.
Now you got to come in and confirm that trust.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
going to find out when you tell them, well, let's not do that. And they think they
Yeah.
have to do that. And you're saying, if you don't, then I get a pause. I get
Yeah.
that. But are they like, okay, I'm trusting you? So that's like a big
Usually.
deal because I've trusted them and I haven't done anything.
Yeah. So sometimes, and it can go a couple different ways. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, what I'm doing is clearly not working. I don't know. Let's try your thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll be like, oh, I couldn't possibly. And I say, okay, that's fine. What would you suggest instead? Because, you know your business better than I do. I've just come in. Maybe I'm still missing something, and I'm totally willing to be humble and acknowledge that and work with that. And if I'm like, you know what, I am like really sure I'm right about this, but it's too much of a risk for you, then how do we do it smaller? So I look for something smaller or I look for something adjacent or I look for a way that I can do it without them realizing it and then just show them the results and I'm like, look, it was cool. Everyone's fine.
Yeah. Do you find sometimes you have to really help them break down or analyze their product or service?
Yeah.
Like you know what you do from a
Hmm.
out for lack of a better term, a feature standpoint.
Yeah,
You don't
absolutely.
understand the benefits.
People,
You're right.
yeah, they very often don't understand why people actually buy their thing. They think they know because it's like, well, you know the quality and you know the effects and you know how fast you are, or whatever, whatever. But a lot of times people buy it for reasons completely unrelated to what you think they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
I express that often to
Yeah.
everybody, to myself. Okay. I want, I'm like, well, why do they? What's the real reason?
Yeah.
And it's never the price,
Ever. Not ever.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then like everyone else, price matters, but it's not the determining factor.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's value because the only reason price matters is when you're presenting something with a price that doesn't warrant the value.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's when you lose for price because you
Hmm.
messed it all up.
Hmm.
You're not delivering enough value to say, hey, what I'm giving you is worth two times, three
Yeah.
times what you're paying. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's how you got
Hmm.
to do it. And if you can't understand that, you're going to
Yeah.
struggle.
Yeah, and if you can't explain it to them, I think a lot of people go in and they think, well, this it's so obvious how this is going to give them two or three times that value. And I mean, other people don't know. They don't know what you do. They don't know why it matters. So you have to really walk them through it and be like, I do this, and here's why you want it, and here's why it's going to pay off.
Yeah, I kind of have this thing too. I say, well, especially for like startups, I work with
Hmm.
startups sometimes, or
Yeah.
I'll mentor startups. I don't work with,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mentor them. And I'll be like, go out and just grab that person on the street, hand them your thing, and
Hmm.
say, hey, man, poke some holes in this.
Yes.
Tell
Yeah,
me all the negative things
absolutely.
about this.
Hmm.
Give them permission for negative.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
like a key. That's such a good, and they're like, okay, well, what is it?
Right.
Here's your first
What?
one. Okay, give me that. I'll see. I got to go back to work. Okay, like I got work
Hmm.
to do, right? So it's simple things
Yeah.
like that. Even like I do with like logos or names.
Hmm.
Walk up to a stranger, have it like on a
Yeah.
2x2 thing, hold it up, two, three,
Hmm.
put it down, go, what'd you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they
Yeah.
don't, because you're driving around in a car that's going 40, 50 miles an hour, no one's got time to read.
Oh no.
Here's a great example,
Mhm.
totally stupid, and it fits with my view of government. But they've got like they got the big signs, and they say like there's gonna be a road closure,
Yeah. Yeah.
stop, and starting this day. It was like two paragraphs, Rachel. It's like
Oh,
rolling this story. I'm like, we're like
yeah.
driving. You can't.
Right.
It's like you've got like four sentences, then it goes to another screen. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, who did that?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly. Exactly. Or they'll do it in really small text, and I'm like, that's
yeah.
just, I'm gonna like crash my car trying to read that thing.
But I'm just
Yeah.
like, I got to drive by it like 8 times to get the
Yeah,
whole
to really
message.
get it.
Okay, so every day, before hopefully it's not you'll die on this day and you're still trying to read
Yeah.
the sign. I don't know, but yeah, it's just and I mean those are just funny things, but I mean they're not marketers. Obviously, they're just
Yeah.
road construction people. It's like you might as well put a menu up there too,
Right. Yeah. On the dates or
But
whatever.
it's just yeah, it's really understanding. And that's why to me you need the professional.
Yeah.
Someone they have to obviously have that knowledge, but they really have to break this down very customer centric.
Hmm.
People have to be you. This is the problem with the owners. Like we know our stuff too well,
So hard. Yeah.
right? We're
It's
too
so
inside baseball. We're speaking this
hard. Hmm.
language that no one understands unless they're another plumber.
Yeah.
Okay, like you can't
Yeah.
you no. My
Hmm.
toilet's plugged up. I don't need.
Right.
All I need to know is when you're showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big plunger,
Yeah.
little plunger. I don't know. Just it
Right.
looks bad. Bring something. Bring both. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
A lot of times I'll tell my clients, if whatever you're saying, if you can say it to like a pretty smart 8-year-old and they could get it, then you're good. But if you say
yeah,
that to the 8-year-old and like, well, that's boring or I don't understand or whatever, then you got to go back and rework it.
yeah. It's just do not underestimate simplicity.
Yeah.
And also don't do your stuff in cursive.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
just
Thank you for saying that. Yes, clarity beats cute any day of the week.
her name. I was looking like I've seen it 7 times. I have no idea what it
Right.
says.
Right.
I have no idea. I had a guy. There's a detail shop near me, and
Mhm.
I keep driving by and he had this sign. I'm going, what is it?
Yeah.
I'll sit at the stop sign during a corner. And I'm looking, what is
Right.
it? I can't
Right.
understand. And I'm just now they took the signs down and then like painted and they did the cursive like bigger.
Oh no.
Okay, on the thing, I'm like, but luxury, it doesn't look luxury. It looks really like kind of a dump.
Yeah.
I get, I get,
Totally.
I get the name. You might want to rethink. Whatever, but not taking my car there. That's all I'm saying. You
Yeah,
know,
no, for
but
sure.
I think a lot of that kind of stuff is it's very layered. Okay,
Yes.
marketing is
Mhm.
very very layered, and that's kind of the problem, right? Like you have to peel back the proverbial onion. Like,
Yeah.
what is all this? Of where are we going? Where do we start? When can you begin to maybe get to another layer or another level of your marketing? But
Right.
that's again part of that long game,
Right.
right? And it's
Mm.
like, and I'm totally guessing here. Is there a familiarity aspect when you're marketing consistently that you
Mm.
can bring the general audience along on the journey? Is that a
Yes.
thing? Because I just thought of that. Is that
Yeah, it absolutely is. Like this is why you're like, I'm bad at marketing. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so
well?
because totally that's exactly how it is. It's a
I
relationship.
can talk about it. I can't do it. Okay, how about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're exactly right. It's a relationship. And what's kind of cool is once you've built that trust with them over time, you can do the weirder stuff. You can ask them, "Hey, can you read this cursive?" Or like, "Do we need to do something different?" You can experiment, and people
Right.
will follow along with you through a lot of stuff if they feel like they know you.
Yeah. Again, I always take it back to relationship.
Mm,
Marketing is no different.
yeah.
Again, to your ideal client,
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to love you. Just accept
Hmm.
that. But to
Hmm.
your ideal client, when you really know who they are and you're speaking directly to them, there's a lot of leeway there because
Yeah,
you know the boundaries
exactly.
because you're dealing with an ideal client and there's
Yeah,
not they fit a certain pattern, right?
yeah.
A certain demographic, everything else. You put all that together now you know how to talk to those people. And that's
Hmm.
when I think if you get on that plane, you're able to then take them along on the journey because it's a
Yeah,
relationship. And you keep speaking to them. You know how to speak to them as things change or evolve or whatever that looks like, right?
yeah, exactly.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, marketing's fun to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
No, it really is. But what I wanted to do today was really kind of understand there is complexity, but
Mm,
with the people who are professionals, okay, and they take it really serious. It's not a I don't even know what to say, but there's people like they're marketers, but I'll say this: marketing to be a marketer has a very low barrier to entry.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
now for
Yeah.
someone who wants to be great, that could be a good thing as they get in and
Yep.
start doing things. But for a lot of others, it's just an income generator,
Hmm.
or it will be for a short period of time till no one
Yes.
uses them
Before
anymore. But
they, yeah.
right, self destruct. But I'm always one that look people come. I don't have a lot of marketers on my show
Mm,
for these reasons.
yeah. No, I don't
Okay,
blame
so I
you.
bring it people like at your level, some other levels who really are the high integrity.
Yeah.
It's really important, right? Really understand the customer, understand their client, where they have to go, like we talked about today. I think that stuff's part of the uh, due diligence as
Yes.
a business owner. Let's talk about. We'll kind of wrap up with that.
Yeah.
What would you suggest, like from a due diligence standpoint? Someone's out looking for that marketer. Maybe it's a
Hmm.
fractional CMO. Maybe it's just they're at the beginning. But
Yeah.
like, what are a couple general things that they want to be looking for?
Yeah. So that's such a great question, and no one ever asked me. So thank you for thank you for letting me
Yeah,
soapbox on this.
that's because I'm a great marketer.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly. Podcast host achievement unlocked.
that's right.
Um, so the first thing I would say is look at their history. So there are a lot of marketers who were VAs last month, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you are willing to be someone's learning curve, maybe you are, maybe you're not. So look at that. If they're like, oh yeah, I've totally like I wrote in school or whatever. Sure, see if you want to deal with that. I would not recommend it. The second thing to look at is do they actually say anything different than anybody else, or is it all the marketing buzzwords that you're hearing right now? If they're just saying the buzzwords, they're probably good at following a trend. They might hit one out of the park. They will probably be useless at everything else. And finally, I would say think about whether you actually like them as a person or not, which sounds so subjective and it sounds like such a silly reason to make a business decision. But this is the person who's going to be using your voice to speak for you. And if you don't like them and don't trust them, it's not going to work.
Yeah, great points. Really, really good points. And the last one is it's one of three or one of five. So
Yeah.
you got to understand you're not making a decision based on one thing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that being someone you get along with, it is important.
Yeah, very much so.
I don't work with anyone I don't like.
Life's too short.
Who's got time for that?
Yeah,
I'm like, just
exactly.
get out, get out.
Yeah.
That's just the smart thing to do. I mean, really, all that does is pull you down. So, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And that people need to understand that because again, the access is limitless
Yes,
to marketers.
absolutely.
Okay.
Hmm.
It's a crowded field.
Yeah.
Okay. Red ocean, as they say, it's a red ocean, right? So get again, differentiation, people with experience. Now we all want an experienced somebody
Hmm.
doing our stuff. Yeah, there are people at different levels of experience. And sometimes your budget is the constraint.
Right,
Totally okay.
exactly.
You,
Hmm.
you got to make it fit, but
Yeah.
you can still take those same points and find that person at level because the guy who's really good on his way up,
Yeah.
right? He's gonna be here,
Yeah.
but
They're absolutely worth it.
you're gonna be like, okay, this guy might take care of me. It's really good. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, there's like me, I was a high integrity guy, but I had a wheelbarrow and a shovel.
Yeah.
And I dug holes. Okay. Like, I mean, I don't, there wasn't a lot of high qualifications for that, but eventually I
Yeah.
became the number one, this artist, all this kind of stuff through time. But I started out that way. I didn't become that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started out that way and just maintained it, but then grew as I again, it's a portfolio grew.
Yeah.
My ability was. So yeah, really good points, Rachel. So to wrap this up, how can people get in touch with you, see what you're offering, what you do, do their due diligence,
Yeah.
like because I'm telling you, it's fractional CMO. Like, wow. Because I've
Mhm.
been recommending this to a
Mhm.
lot of my clients. They go, this is
Oh,
what you need.
nice. Nice.
Fractional CFO, bring them in. You're at that point in your business. You're not always
Yeah.
at that point in your business.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not a startup needing a fractional anything.
Yeah. Gosh,
You
no.
need a work ethic.
Exactly. And a big bag of
Get to
money,
work. That's
ideally.
right. Yes, and thick shoes and thick skin. You need
Yep.
all that. But I do, and it's been so valuable to my clients.
Oh, good. I'm
When they
glad.
come in like that, it's like this is awesome. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
because they get to take this kind of a hyper jump to another level.
Yeah.
Very concise with someone expert. And when we bring in people and fractional CMO, fractional CFO, whatever it is, they don't have an emotional attachment to your business.
Yep.
So they're able to see your problems very quickly, very clearly. And so be stinking coachable.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like just
Absolutely.
listen to them, trust it, let it roll, listen to the plan. It'll make sense. It doesn't make sense. You'll have your questions, ask the questions. But if they're giving you the right responses, they're able to come right back. Oh, think about that. I got to run it through chat, see what I should do next. But they can just off the cuff give you the answers. That they give you comfort. Then you got to
Yeah.
roll with that, right? So again,
Yeah.
how do people get in touch with it, Rachel?
Yeah, they can find me at boltfromthebluecopywriting.com. You can also just connect with me on LinkedIn or just send me an email at rachel@boltfromthebluecopywriting.com.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's great, Rachel. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have
What?
absolutely loved this. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for having
yeah,
me.
yeah. This has been great. So everyone else, check out Rachel's site, send her an email, start looking into the fractional aspect of CMOs, CFOs, things like that, but really start thinking, wow, maybe I'm at that level.
Yeah.
Maybe that is what I need because I can't put someone on full time. Not many
Mm,
people can.
yeah.
I know another really benefit of what you do. It's really good, in those aspects. So do that. And Rachel, again, for you, thank you so much for your time today. And for everybody else, we'll see you on the next STS podcast. Thanks for joining me on the Sharpen the Spear podcast. If you're a manufacturing executive and you're serious about unlocking hidden profit, improving frontline leadership, and taking control of your floor, go to grit2lead.com right now. Run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator and discover your biggest opportunities are hiding. Don't leave millions on the table. Sharpen your spear, lead from the front, and win the floor. Until next time, stay sharp.